All right, good to see both of you. Let's come to a nice comfortable seat and give the shoulders a nice little roll out. Oh, mine are extra crunchy today. All right, and then you can start to roll forward a few times. Good, and then back again. All right, and then feel those shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other, release down towards your sit bones. You can bring your hands to your thighs, peek down at your feet. Just make sure that they have landed about hip distance apart so your knees are over your ankles. Put your brain into your sit bones, really press down there. And as that happens, maybe it feels like you can lengthen a little bit more through the sides of your waist. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. Let's do that a couple more times. So smooth, full, deep inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. One more time like that. Smooth, full, deep inhale. And sigh the breath out, ha. And then you're going to seal your lips. You're going to start to inhale through your nose. And then also exhale through your nose. You might be practicing your Ujjayi breath here. So constricting the sides of your throat. You're creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. It sounds like ocean waves rolling in and out. Really let your attention go to that sound. So you're using this breath as a tool to help you quiet the mind, focus your attention. You kind of bringing your gaze inward here. You're checking in with yourself. You're noticing how things are feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Observing where you're at, not really trying to change anything, but just noticing what's going on for you in this moment. And then also just allowing yourself to soak up this stillness, to drop into it, even to enjoy it. It might be the first time you've had today to sit quietly. From here, you're going to blink your eyes open and we're going to start to move into some simple cat-cow. So hands are on your thighs. As you inhale, you're going to rock forward on your sit bones. You're going to find an arch in your lower back. And then as you exhale, you're going to rock in the opposite direction. Chin will drop towards your chest. You're rounding in your upper spine. Inhaling, arching. And then exhaling, rounding in. And you're welcome to close your eyes again if that feels good. Sometimes that allows us to get inside a little more. Just observe how things are feeling. Notice how nice it feels to connect to movement with breath like this. So we're creating this rhythm in our body. When you think about it, we're pretty rhythmic creatures. The breath certainly is always happening. It's kind of in the background, but always doing its thing. And just notice how just doing a few rounds of these things start to shift how your spine is feeling already. So it just takes a little bit of movement to really start to open things up, kind of get some of the cobwebs out of the spine, out of the body. So this is certainly a good thing to do daily, a couple times a day. You can do this anytime you find yourself in a comfortable seat somewhere. All right, so let's start to make the movement a little bit smaller until you find that place where you're pressing into your sit bones, your shoulders are balanced over your hips, you're in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then from here, let's start to make some circles. And you're gonna notice that this gets into some different places, especially in the lower trunk. You might also be feeling some stretch, some movement in the shoulders and the neck. And then you can begin to switch directions here. And then again, just start to make those circles a little bit smaller until you feel your weight, your shoulders landing evenly over those sit bones so you're sitting nice and tall. Release your arms by your sides. Let's inhale, take the arms out and up, take up lots of space. And then find internal rotation so the thumbs face forward, and then give yourself a little resistance as you press out and down. Very nice. As you inhale, we're going to reach forward and up. And then exhale, just coming forward and down. So we're warming up that shoulder girdle, ball and socket joint. There's a lot of movement in our shoulders. So we want to get in to all the places. Inhaling forward and up. And exhaling forward and down. Let's do 2 more complete cycles of this. Maybe you're starting to gaze up as your palms press overhead. And if that feels like too much in your neck, you just skip it. So just kind of finding this shoulder vinyasa, we're going to call it. Connecting the movement with breath. Beautiful. So let's pause here, and then we're going to just do a little side to side stretching. So getting into yet another place in the spine. So as you inhale, take that left arm up and over, side bend to the right. Feel all that stretch on the left side. Exhale, release down. Good. Inhale, right arm up and over. You're still anchoring into that right sit bone, and exhale, release. So you've got it. You continue like this. You're moving with your breath. Some days it feels really nice to move a little faster. Some days we really want to stretch things out. Just intuiting what it is that you need right now, what would feel good in your body. This is one of the things that our yoga practice helps us to key into. So just creating this mind-body awareness. And listening to that sound of your breath. Good. The next time you are side bending to the right, let's just hang out there. Really reach through those left fingertips, even as you're pressing more into that left sit bone. You could imagine that there's just a sandbag resting on your thigh, helping you to root down. And then you're feeling these right ribs roll up towards the ceiling. You might even bring your gaze up underneath that top arm. That's going to stretch the neck a little bit. So if it doesn't feel good, you just gaze wherever feels comfortable. You're keeping that breath smooth and steady, that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Good. And then as you exhale, release that left arm down. As we inhale, this right arm reaches up and over. And again, you're getting as long through this right side body as you can. As you anchor into your right sit bone, you extend through those right fingertips. Keep that reach even as you're wrapping your left ribs up towards the ceiling. And then just check in with that left shoulder. Is it creeping up around your ear? Soften it down. Gaze might come up. We got a couple more breaths here. Very nice. As you exhale, you release. Let's bring our hands to our thighs. And then just drop your chin towards your chest. Right away, my shoulders want to help out. So just imagine that somebody's gently pressing down on your shoulders. If the back of your neck is really tight, and it can be, you drop your chin less far. And then send your exhale to the back of your neck. Just imagine that that breath is coming out any tangles in the muscle fibers back there. It's creating some space. It's creating some ease. Good. Keep your chin tucked. Take several rounds of breath as you make that little quarter turn to the right. So there's no rush. Stretching the neck. As you start to bring that right ear in the direction of the right shoulder, you're going to feel sensation on this left side. I encourage you to stay in the spots that are a little sticky, a little intense. Be there for a couple of breaths if you can. And even though it seems like we're not doing a whole lot here, this can be really intense. So the neck, the shoulders get super tight. This, for most of us, carry a lot of stress. If you're feeling like you'd like a little more stretch here, maybe you release your left fingertips towards the floor. You can always try a variation out, and try it on for size. And then if it doesn't work, you just go back to the place you were prior. If you want to just start to lift that left arm, I always think this one is really interesting. You get this almost like nervy stretch. I especially feel it the higher I lift that arm. I'm getting it on the inseam of the armpit area, and certainly the side of the neck as well. Even in the fingers almost a little bit. Just check in with your breath, make sure it's moving. It's easy to hold it here because this can be quite intense. Good. Go ahead and release that left hand down. Press the left hand on your thigh. And then if you want to bring your right hand to the top of your head, kind of pull forward and down a little bit, both at the same time. And you can really gauge how much juice you want to give that using the strength of your arm. Beautiful. You're going to take that right hand, you're going to bring it to your cheek. Use the strength of your arm to help upright your head. Lovely. Before we do that sequence to the second side, let's roll those shoulders out again. Ooh. Good. And then hands resting on thighs again. As we exhale, we drop our chin towards our chest. So second time we've been here. Perhaps it's feeling like things are starting to open up. And of course, it's absolutely fine if you're not quite there yet. But again, just be mindful that the shoulders aren't creeping up towards your ears. Visualize that breath going to the back of the neck, creating space in those muscle fibers, combing out any tangles. And then moving nice and slow, keep that chin tucked. You're going to move towards bringing that left ear towards your left shoulder. When you get to those places that are a little extra intense, linger there for a moment if you can. Get curious about how this side feels different in your neck. And if you're getting a lot of good stretch here, stay like this. If you want to play with intensifying things a little bit, you could release your right fingertips towards the floor. So just using the weight of that arm to just up the ante a little bit. And then finally, if you want to, lift that right arm. You're going to feel some of that nervy stretch on the inseam of the arm, the armpit, back of the shoulder. Keep breathing. It can get quite intense. And of course, you skip this piece if it doesn't feel good in your body. Beautiful. Go ahead and release that right hand back down. It comes to your thigh. And then final little piece here, if you'd like to gently give your neck a little tractioning, a little weight. I'm kind of pulling forward and down at the same time. This side might feel different. If it's too much, don't do it. Breath smooth and steady. All right, you're going to take your left hand to your cheek. Just kind of let the weight of your head go there. Really use the strength of your arm, your hand to upright your skull. Good. Again, roll those shoulders out. Maybe they're slightly less crunchy than when we started. I think mine are getting there. All right, let's do a little twisting here. So just refresh your posture. Make sure that you still got those feet hip distance apart. You're pressing evenly into your sit bones. As you inhale, take the arms out wide. Feel those shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other on your back. Deep inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center. And we exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. And we're going to exhale, twist to the right. Stay here this time. Inhale, really reach out. You've got these giant wings. As you exhale, you're going to release your hands down. So left hand could be anywhere on your left thigh. It might come to the outside of that right thigh. You're grabbing your chair behind you. So you're just finding a little leverage with your hands so that you can press your shoulder heads back. You can feel that lift of your sternum even as you're wrapping those left ribs to the right. Breath smooth and steady. And check in with that inhale. Gets a little constricted when we're in these twists. So really be mindful of getting a good inhale. And then you might notice on the exhale, that's a little bit easier. We're kind of already wringing everything out. I mean, you could be moving towards bringing your gaze out over that right shoulder. And then let's just stretch the neck a little more. So keep that right shoulder releasing down. Actually, keep both shoulders releasing down. Start to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Okay, so just lift your head up right again. And then as we exhale, we're gonna wrap this right arm up and over. We're gonna give ourselves a hug. Hug your favorite subject, you. Good, so you can feel your shoulder blades kind of widening across them, but then go ahead and lift your elbows. So you're gonna feel a little shoulder stretch. Maybe a little stretch, the outer arm, that tricep area. Your breath is smooth and steady. Good. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. And then out. Beautiful. Deep inhale here. So wrists in line with shoulders. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, twist to the left. Stay here. Inhale. Find that giant wingspan. And then exhale, release hands down. So shoulder blades releasing down your back. Right hand can be on right thigh or left thigh. And it just depends on how your body's feeling today. It also has to do with your proportions, how long your arms are or not. Good. So you just find that place where you can give a little leverage so that you're wrapping your right ribs to the left. But you're keeping your spine nice and long, even though you're twisting it, and you're feeling that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. And then maybe move towards bringing your gaze in the direction of that left shoulder. Check in with your breath. Try to fill up on that inhale and really empty out on your exhale. And then perhaps you drop your chin towards your chest. So feeling a stretch on that right side of the neck. Good. Inhale, lift your chin. Good. And then as you exhale, unwind, give yourself a hug. Good. So you're grabbing your shoulder blades, you're lifting your elbows. So the spine is nice and tall, but you're feeling that stretch in the shoulders, that stretch in the outseam of the arm. And breath. Smooth and steady here. Nice and even, full and deep. Good. As you inhale, reach the arms up and out, and then all the way down. Lovely. Let's go ahead and begin our 250 sun salutes here. Maybe we'll just do 5 and multiply it by whatever that would be. I can't math right now. 50 or something. Yeah, 50, I think. All right, so each one counts as 10. Here we go. I might have the math wrong on this. Don't hold me to that. As you inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. You can use your hands to help you roll down. Inhaling, hands might come to shins or thighs. You could use blocks if you have them. Exhale, fold back in. And then as you inhale, you can roll on up. You can use your hands to help you come up. You could do that reverse swan dive. Lots of ways to come back into our extended mountain pose. Maybe gaze up, press palms. And then as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Beautiful. We got 4 more of these. So we know these well. I'm not going to cue you. You can move with me. You can move at your own pace. If you're not feeling sun salutes today, you could always return to your cat-cow or those Sufi rolls. Really enjoy how it feels to flow with the breath here, connecting movement with breath. You could even close your eyes if that feels good and you feel safe and stable. Good, and when you're done with that 5th round / 250th, go ahead and pause in your mountain pose, your Tadasana, palms together at your heart. Drain in your sit bones, feel them pressing down. Notice how you're feeling here. Notice what's shifted. Potentially exhausted after all of those sun salutes. Maybe energized. Thankfully, we didn't actually do 250. All right, so from here, let's move into our Viloma I breath. So go ahead and place your hands on your thighs. This is our 3-part breath. So you're finding this nice, comfortable seat. Allow your eyelids to close. And then take a smooth, full, deep inhale through your nose. Full, complete exhale, empty out. And then there's a little pause at the bottom. You're gonna inhale up to your belly button, pause the breath. Inhale up to those lower ribs, those floating ribs, and find a little pause. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. Pause the breath, feel that lift of your sternum, keep the shoulders releasing down, and then slowly turn the air, the breath around, exhale through your nose. And when you get to the bottom, just take a couple of recovery breaths. So just nice, easy breaths, cleansing the palate. And then here we go again, smooth, full, deep inhale, fill up. Exhale, empty out. Pause at the bottom. Inhale 1/3 of the way up, pause. Inhale another third of the way, pause the breath. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. And then slowly exhale the air out through your nose. Empty out. Couple recovery breaths when you get to the bottom. Good, inhale. Exhale, empty out. Little pause at the bottom. Inhale 1/3 of the way up, pause. Inhale another third of the way, pause the breath. Inhale all the way up underneath your collarbones. And then you're gonna slowly exhale the air out through your nose. And then you're just gonna return to your normal, easy breathing. We're gonna move towards Shavasana. So you're gonna let go of that Ujjayi breath. You're gonna invite in this sense of relaxation, of surrender. You're certainly welcome to take a forward fold. If you've got a chair or a table in front of you, that can be really nice and calming. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to come into classic Shavasana on the floor, you're also welcome to do that. Just find a place where you can be still and quiet. Soak up these final few moments together, Shavasana. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma joyti gamaya. Mrityo ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Let your next inhale be deeper. You can open your mouth sigh, the breath out, ha. And then just bring a little gentle movement back to your body. Wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles, wrists, stretch out. You're going to eventually land with your hands in a pile on top of your heart. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up, making the effort. And just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, week, holiday weekend ahead. And finally, just bow your head with a smile. Thank you so much. Great to see everybody. Happy 4th of July.